What up, gang of Lane? Carolina Jackpot coming at you on Sunday afternoon. It's about 2 p.m.-ish, and yeah, I know. A lot of people say, ew, I guess Carolina Jackpot's crawled under a rock, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you know what? First of all, I'm too big to crawl under any rocks. It has to be a pretty big boulder. Second of all, I've never ran and hid from any loss, period. Haven't. Go check your facts. Go back on the YouTube timeline. Carolina Jackpot's been here, win, lose, or draw, but last night's game against Clemson was that was embarrassing on so many levels. I can't even. It's getting hard anymore to even relate. It's getting hard to discern between this year, or last year, or the year before. I mean, they're all. It seems like they're all starting to run together for me at this point. This is. Last night, I mean, they reached an absolute new low. They have not been shut out since 1989, or haven't been shut out by the Tater Shut since 1989, I should say. They've lost plenty of games since then against them. I happened to be at the last game they lost to the Taters. That was in 1989 when they were shut out, 45-0. Last night's game, not as dominating as that one, but just equally as embarrassing, equally as disappointing to me, because honestly, that was not a good Clemson team that South Carolina played. It really wasn't. And, you're going to sit here and throw this at me all day long. So, well, you got to give them some credit. I don't have to give them shit. I don't have to give them shit. I'm not giving them shit. I'm going to give them some shit, meaning I'm going to give them a hard time. And I'm going to do that regardless. But is their defense good? Yeah, it's good. But, I mean, you gave up 28 points to Wake Forest. You gave up a ton of rushing yards to Syracuse. You lost to NC State, and that was when you were healthy. And I don't want to sit here and split hairs with Taters telling me that, no, we wasn't fully healthy when we played NC State. Yes, you were. You were way healthier than you were in last night's game. And you've brought up injuries all year long. You've brought up how injured you are, how beat up your team is, this, that, and the other, blah, blah. You've brought it up all year fucking long. You have. So I don't want to hear it. With that being said, I don't understand how, I don't understand really how a college coach's mind works. But to not have your team ready to play the biggest game of the year for you by far, and then in a post-game press conference to come out and, in my opinion, kind of to like appeal to the fans of the team, to appeal to our softer side and tell us that that a lot of the players in there are crying right now. There's a lot of hurt feelings in there right now, but you know what? I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear it. It's on you. It's on you, dude, to have the team ready to play. Clemson was not 30 points better than South Carolina. They're just not. They're not. You shut down both legs. You got behind early 14-0. That's on y'all. That defense, there were more missed tackles last night in that game than I've seen all year long, bar none. I mean, it was horrible, and I don't know how many there were total. I mean, I would imagine it's somewhere high in the 20s. Hell, it may be in the 30s. Missed tackles I saw. When we had the ukulele, we had them 3rd and like 15 or whatever it was, and you guys let the ukulele get that 20-yard run for a first down or whatever it was. That's when the ship was sunk. That's when the ship was sunk right there. You gave up right there. Gave up. And then you get down 14-0, and then you start wanting to fight back, and you do, and you start holding them to field goals. I mean, to that point, you're holding them to field goals, and the defense played well. They played well from that point forward. But, I mean, when you're behind 14-0 and you have an offense that can't do anything, offense that can't find its way out of a wet paper sack, you're just done. You're absolutely done. If he doesn't make several changes on the offensive side of the ball after this game, I'm not watching anymore. I'm telling you, I'm not watching next season unless he gets rid of that offensive line coach and he gets rid of that offensive coordinator, period, point blank. And, I don't know if them and their ineptitude is so much an issue with first of all, just to get these jobs, for Marcus Satterfield to be an offensive coordinator at an SEC school on a Power 5 level, for Greg Atkins, the Fat Arn Anderson, to be an offensive line coach at an SEC school at the Power 5 level, they had to have had some measure of success somewhere. Marcus had a measure of success at Temple University as a offensive coordinator and play caller. Had a measure of success in the NFL. He's coached a FCS college football program. Greg Atkins was an offensive line coach at Marshall. I don't know where else he was at. I forget about it. But they have had some success somewhere. So I don't know so much if this is an issue with talent at certain positions, with talent not being able to adapt to a new scheme. But, I mean, my God, we've had a year in, guys. We've had a year in. You've had 12 games in. That can't be the excuse. I mean, are they that inept as coaches? Oh, one would like to say that. One would like to throw it all on the coaches because, I mean, it's just not, it's the woke thing to do, not to blame it on the players, to just blame everything on the coaches. But at the same time, I mean, these guys have had a level of success somewhere to get these jobs. So I really don't know the answer to that. I think it's somewhere in the muddy middle between the two. And I also think that they're just not experienced enough to be successful coaches on the SEC level right now. They're just not. And whether they're going to be or not, I don't know. That's not up for me to find out. And if I were Shane Beamer, it wouldn't be up to the success and or failure of my football program to find out. I would go ahead and get rid of both of them right now. Okay, the fans want them gone. The fans aren't happy with the product that's out there on the field. So you can't be happy with the product that's on the field. You cannot be happy with it at all. I mean, teams have moved the ball on the Taters this year. They have a solid defense. Yes. They like to say they have an elite defense. Do they have an elite defense? No, they don't have an elite defense. Georgia is a team that has an elite defense. Clemson has a good defense. Okay, but when you have a shitpo offense, you bolster that times 10. And once again, I'm not sitting here failing to give credit to Clemson because I hate them so much. I'm just sitting here failing to give credit to them because it's really just not due. They have failed to reach their goals this year. They didn't qualify for, obviously, an ACC championship. Okay, they shit the bed 3 times against teams that they thought they were better than. And if I'm not mistaken, they shit the bed 3 times twice when they were favored, and once against Pittsburgh. They didn't reach their goals yet. They give Dabo Swinney a Gatorade bath after the game, because this is their Super Bowl too. But it's not a rivalry, right? It's not a rivalry, right? We're going to change up our uniforms to orange pants, but it's not a rivalry. It's not a rivalry. They're so double talking and speaking out of both sides of their mouth that it's not even funny. But once again, after the game was 14-0, I will say that I was proud of the way the defense played. I was proud of the way they played. After that, they held the little shit Shipley. After that, I think probably to about 50 yards on the ground. But that last drive where Clemson scored, Dabo went for it on like 4th and 3. So he could punch in another touchdown. But Shane Beamer, that's your mentor. That's your mentor. That's who you act like. That's who you want to be like. That's who your son likes. He autographed a bunch of stuff, sent it to your son, this, that, and other. But that's who you want to be. That's who you want to be. Okay? He stuck it to you. I would say file that away and remember it for next year. But honestly, does South Carolina have a legitimate chance to beat you next year? No. The only way they do is if they continue to play the ukulele, and they're not going to continue to play him. That game plan from the beginning It was horrible. The defensive game plan from the beginning was absolutely horrible. I was all in favor of loading the box, taking away the run, and making the ukulele beat you through the air. And instead, what'd you do? You sat here and you conceded the run. You conceded the run to him so that you could defend the pass. And ukulele did absolutely nothing through the air. I don't even think he got 100 yards through the air. He threw an interception, an awful interception. Should have thrown two. But you guys should have dared him to beat you through the air, because he wouldn't have. He wouldn't have. Really good teams with really good defenses, they can stop the run and they can stop the pass. The Taters were able to do both last night. They stopped the run and they stopped the pass. Y'all could have sold out on one for the other. You sold out on the wrong one. You sold out on the wrong one. You should have sold out on the damn pass, because he's not going to beat you through the air. Those receivers aren't talented enough to catch those damn lame duck, flat-looking, fart-stained passes that he throws. They're just not. And for your sake, I hope he's not your quarterback next year, because you're going to be dealing with the same shit next year. Unfortunately, you just are. But anyway, this one's in the bag, and a part of me just absolutely hopes that they do keep Marcus Satterfield and Greg Atkins, so I'm not exposed to this again next year, because I'm telling you, I'm not doing these videos. I'm not going to keep on subjecting myself to this every week in, week out. They're not going to get any better with those clowns at the helm unless they start recruiting 5-star talent across the board like Georgia does. Then maybe they have a chance at being able to do something like that. But let's be honest. I mean, the best South Carolina's probably going to do in recruiting is in the teens. Number 15 is probably about their ceiling, which, if you want to be an 8-win SEC team, which is honestly where you want to try to be. An 8-9 win SEC team is honestly where I want to be right now. It's where I want to be. Do I want to win SEC East championships and all that? Yes, I do. But let's take baby steps first. Let's put the cart before the horse. Let's put the cart before the horse and not worry about, trying to accomplish things that we're not going to accomplish. Be realistic with your goals. Be realistic with your goals. But honestly, a part of me hopes that he doesn't replace them, because I'm getting tired of this. I'm getting tired of being disappointed 6-7 Saturdays a year and having to and I don't have to do anything or obligatorily coming on here to make these videos where I try to find some silver lining around the clouds, and it's just old, man. It's really old. It weighs on me a little bit. This whole YouTube thing, and I'll go into this more next week. I'm going to make some more videos just talking about YouTube and life in general. But watching South Carolina play football, especially when I'm watching it here at home, I mean, emotionally, it just drags me down to an absolute immature level that I quite honestly don't like to be at. I mean, last night, case in point, I got so aggravated and upset during the live stream that I had a teenager in here who was a Clemson fan. Okay, whatever, he's a Clemson fan. It is what it is. That I actually yelled at him for cheering before when he was in the other room watching it with my stepdaughter, and he cheered. And because his was a little bit before mine. Mine was on a little bit of a delay from what he was watching. And I yelled and hollered at him for letting me know what was going to happen first. And, even though this is my house, that's just not really a good look. And, there have been several other meltdowns here. And I honestly, I got aggravated. I called out another YouTuber yesterday evening, Uncle Lou, who did a live stream at the same time as mine. He starts streaming the South Carolina Clemson game, and it just kind of pissed me off a little bit, because he actually put it in the title that he was going to stream that and everything, which to that point is fine, okay? I don't own the rights nor the patent on live streaming South Carolina football games or Clemson football games. I just don't. I don't own the rights or the patent on that. But the fact is that I'm the main South Carolina Gamecocks YouTuber, and I should be able to get the views on the South Carolina Clemson game. That's just, that's just good business, I guess you would call it. And when you've got somebody over here who's probably going to end up with anywhere from 12 to 15,000 views total on their live stream versus someone who may be knocking on the door of maybe getting 4,000 if I have a good one, it's just a little bit petty in my opinion. But at the same time, I should be better than that and not even worry about it and just let the shit roll off my back. But yeah, it obviously irritated the hell out of me last night, and I said something about it. But anyway, whatever. You can do your damn thing. With that being said, another season in the books, another regular season. We're 6-6. Yeah, we did win more games in the regular season than people thought we would. Okay, do I think we're a good team? Fuck no. Do I think that South Carolina is a 6-win team? No, not really. I mean, when you look at it, they're really not. I mean, I think they're really about the level of a 4-win team, to be quite honest with you. And there are a lot of other 6-6 teams out there that would probably blow our doors off. And that's just me being real. I'm tired of this. The disappointment every week, every freaking week, getting up for the season all throughout the summer, spending my summer researching them and, figuring out who's going to play what. Are we going to be better here? Are we going to be better on this side of the ball? What are we going to do? It's obviously, it is very, very irritating. It's very irritating. And then that press conference this morning when I listened to Shane Beamer sit here and talk about how bad he felt for the fans and, how the kids are in the locker room crying. I just reached up and I turned the video off because, dude, I'm tired of hearing it. I am fucking tired of hearing it, man. If you want to really apologize to the fans, fix it. Fix it. That's what you need to do if you're going to apologize to the fans. Don't sit here and tell us about how hurt they are and how disappointed you are in your performance. We know you're disappointed in your performance. We know. So don't give me that. Don't give me that. You didn't have them ready to play. Plain and simple. Nothing Clemson really did. It's more so what you didn't do. And that's really all I can say about it. Till next time, guys. I'll see y'all later. Appreciate it. Peace. I'm out. Go Gamecocks, I guess.